Now let's hear from our regular guest, Atedo Peterside. He's the president and founder of ANAP Foundation, a non-profit organization committed to promoting good governance, and he's also a delegate at the national conference. Here's his chat with our reporter, Olumide Macaulay.
Thank you, sir, for talking to us. Security issues appear to have taken center stage this week. What is your take on the resolutions taken at the conference?
Okay, first of all, the incidents were, of course, unfortunate. The bombing, kidnapping of school girls. But I think it's, for me personally, I felt it was important that we, the National Conference delegates, stuck to our mandate. I thought there was a bit of too much activity, rushing out in the morning to pass motions as to what's going on in the country. I mean, with due respects, I mean, we pray it doesn't, but there are things happening in the country every day. And if you don't face your own mandate and you keep on coming and rushing and trying to respond to everything that's happening, it's almost as if you're playing into the hands of those who are behind all the mischief, because part of what they do is to create incidents and hope that you will now make that center stage and you will leave everything you're doing and respond to that. Also, I think it's very important, for me personally, it's very important that we finish our assignment within 3 months. So you can keep reacting to everything that's happening. And in any case, trying to, let's be honest, at the end of the day, what will all those motions achieve? Do we honestly, shouldn't we face the assignment we are given where we may prefer solutions that will help the country to move forward? We're not in charge of security. We're not DSSS. We're not the Nigerian army. Indeed, some of the motions, with the benefit of hindsight, people just overheard something and they rushed to the floor and moved a motion. There was a motion, I think, when they were telling the army, well done for being able to have 88 girls released. And the following day, the army itself said it was a mistake. And that shows you when you're trying to rush into areas where you're not able to verify facts, you don't have evidence, you have nothing, but you're trying to jump out and seize the limelight. So I'm much happier that, anyway, luckily, this has come to an end naturally. Now we're going into committees anyway. So that, I mean, there'll be 20 different committees, meeting simultaneously. So the worst anybody can do is to, in his own committee room, start trying to raise the motion.
There were a lot of suggestions, such as closing the Nigerian border or visiting the president. Some see this as overstepping the mandate of the conference. What is your opinion on this?
The president did not call us together so that we in turn will come and pay him a visit. He brought us together and gave us an assignment. And I'm sure the president expects us to spend our time and energies working overtime to do the assignment we were given. That's why I said, look, it's a mistake in life to try and be all things to all men. You're only a confab delegate. You are not going to be the one to solve every issue that comes up in the next 3 months. And in any case, the danger of not focusing on our assignment is that we miss our deadline. So in life, I've always had a bias towards being focused. I'm focused on an assignment we are given. Now I've been put in a committee like everybody else. I'm putting my mind and energy on the committee work. Also, let's be careful, because the National Conference is supposed to come up with ideas that will move the country forward. Sometimes it's better for you to concentrate on the big picture, because some of the issues, if we tackle them properly at the level of the big picture, you may find that that solves that sort of answers the root cause of some of these other problems which are being made manifest. For instance, if there's a problem whose root cause is injustice, we are better off tackling the injustice, because that's something that we can identify and address. But trying to get into micromanagement of which soldier released which girl, which kidnappers, and so on, where you don't have the facts. So, you'll be embarrassed sooner or later. So that's my personal opinion.
Now, the composition of committees was also something that needed to be addressed, as a lot of delegates had complaints about the committees they were assigned to and the chairman and the deputy chairman that they were assigned to. Do you see this as impeding the work of the conference? These matters are still not yet addressed.
I must say I found that very disappointing. In fact, it's the singular thing that has happened which has for me, brought the most disappointment. Look, I expected all the conference delegates, most of them have at various points in their lives been leaders themselves. If you have been a leader before, you should also be a good follower. Look, all of us knew when we had the list of 20 committees that some committees would be very popular. We were asked to indicate our preferences, first choice, second choice, third choice. I could have told you for free up front that the committees on devolution of power, the committees on political restructuring, there will be those types of committees. Everybody will want to serve on them. So when they give you the form to fill as well, of course my first choice was devolution, and second choice was the other one, and my third choice was this issue of residency, indigenship, immigration, and so on. Now, let's imagine there are 490 members, or let's say 480. If there are 20 committees, that means you've got to put 24 people in each committee. They're meeting simultaneously. So even when I filled out that form with my preferences, I knew that the chances of my getting my first choice were 1 in 20. My second, because everybody wants the same committees, and I believe the leadership made it clear to us that they had a problem. Everybody had interest in the same committees. Conversely, we were told, for instance, that the committee on religion, there were almost no takers there. I mean, only 18 people expressed an interest. Because at the end of the day, in our heart of hearts, deep down, we all know that there is no problem with religion. The problem of religion is caused by mischief makers. Your religion is private to you. If you're a Christian, go to your house and pray, or go to your church and pray. If you're Muslim, do the same thing. There's no issue there. At the end of the day, a devout Christian and a devout Muslim have similar values. They will not steal, they will not cheat, and so on. The problem is the mischief makers who try and bring religion into politics. So nobody was interested in serving on the Committee on Religion. We were going for the things that will restructure the federation, and those types of committees. But when I made those choices, I also knew that most likely the leadership may not give me my first choice or my second choice. And I was prepared to accept whichever committee they put me on. This conference isn't about I must get my way. Why do I think I have a divine right out of 490 delegates that I must get onto the particular committee which I wanted? Everybody cannot have that. And if you have been a leader before, which most of us have, the task of a leader is to compromise, is to find a way to spread things around, explain to people, and they tried their best to do that. Then also the whole issue of who is the chairman of a committee, vice chairman. Everybody can be a chairman. Everybody can be a vice chairman. And I was very willing to accept whoever they made chairman of my committee or where I'm serving. I also know that in the choice of committee chairmen or chairpersons and vice chairmen, they will look at all kinds of considerations, including competence, also things like geographic spread. Again, they may look at religion, make sure some Muslims are chairmen, some Christians. So to me, it was like the luck of the draw. So I didn't expect that anybody would come there believing that he must be a chairman. And in any case, if that's what you really came there for, then I think you're in the wrong place, because it means that you didn't come to serve. You came to pursue a personal agenda or to try and improve your CV, and that's the wrong spirit. In any case, look, how many things do you want to be chairman of? Some of us have been chairman of this, chairman of the other. Is it everywhere you go in this world that you want to be a chairman? What is wrong in being a floor member? And in any case, sometimes, as far as I'm concerned, a chairman of a committee is often handicapped in the sense that his task is to conduct a meeting. Some good chairmen actually defer to the floor members, give them more time, sacrifice, and so that the chairman is actually involved in making sure that everybody has their say, guides the discussions. He can't even get up and leave for 5 minutes. He's there all the time. So I don't understand all this clamor for you must be in a particular committee, you must be chairman, you must be vice chairman. I found it very disappointing. But I hope that now, in any case, people have no choice. Come Tuesday morning, your name is in a committee. There are 20 different rooms where they meet simultaneously. You either go to the committee that you were sent to, or you fail to show up. Either way, I'm sure the rest of those on the committee will do the work without you.
From your understanding, can you explain how the committees are to work now?
I imagine that as soon as the committees get together on Tuesday morning for the first time, the membership will decide on the assignment, decide what they want to cover. They'll start discussing, debating, and each committee will probably do it differently. I'm putting my mind to the committee where I was put on residency, indigenship, immigration, all those issues. I have my thoughts, and I imagine that I will get in there, I will listen to other people. It's important to listen also. I mean, just going to a committee to go and talk or to espouse ideas is not good enough, because my experience is that in this kind of conference, whatever ideas that you left your house with, by the time you go there on that same subject and you listen to other people, you might change your view slightly. So it's important to listen. And I've said it repeatedly that people who say they've left their house, they already have a prepared position. One, it's arrogant. And two, what makes you think that you on your own have found a solution? If you could solve all the problems by yourself, then just go ahead and do so. There's a reason for a conference is that it's a contest of ideas. And I'm interested in what the next person in my committee wants to say on indigenship. I'm interested in hearing the person from the northeast, or the person from the southwest, the person, what they have to say. Or indeed, I'm interested also in the business groups, their views, in the human rights activists, everybody. I want us to have a discussion and build consensus.